Hey, why is that? Oh, that's different. They've changed the layout. Okay. So, good morning. My back is aching. So good morning and welcome to the Sunday stream. I wasn't able to broadcast on Thursday, so I had a head cold. So a bunged up head. I'm a little better now, so I've managed to come back online. Yeah. Anyway. I don't know why I'm laughing. I had a head cold. I've had lots of Lemsip, and I tried to rest with the kids being here, but it's just so hard when you're ill, you have kids, it's just impossible to really relax. So they've been away since Friday evening, so I've had Saturday on the settee, just relaxing with hot drinks and stuff. So that was really nice. So I feel better. I'm better. Okay, so welcome to the stream. Streams every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. and every Sunday morning at 10:30 a.m. And you watch live or after the event on YouTube. But to ask questions, you have to either send them prior to the stream or ask live during the stream. And you ask questions live by sending a friend request and then messaging me the question or calling me on Skype. And my Skype ID is Rebekah Maroon. So you call or message me on Skype with your questions. And Skype is free, so it doesn't cost you anything to join Skype. This is free as well. This broadcast is free. You don't pay a penny for it. It's a free non-duality meeting twice a week. Oh, that's nice. Oh. So normally I do an introduction and then you can ask questions. So I've called this a meeting, a non-duality meeting this evening, this morning, because it's a we've come together to talk about, to question, to expose, to share duality, which is talking about freedom, or that which is not in form, that which is untouched by any seeming appearance. We're talking about the nature of this, the nature of the appearances, the nature of form, the true nature of form, which is that which is beyond form. The nature of form is emptiness. The nature of form is that which isn't manifested, and yet it's appearing as form. It's appearing as these sounds. It's appearing as the computer, as the images. But those forms are empty. They don't have an independent reality. So we're sharing that which isn't, but also is. We're talking about and pointing to that which isn't, but is. That which is beyond isness, but is. It doesn't matter what the mind's trying to understand about this. It's irrelevant, really. The mind might try and grasp this, understand this. It is irrelevant. Whatever the mind produces as a conclusion. My feet are cold. Hold on a minute. Dressing gown. I was wearing this all day yesterday. My new dressing gown. Thank you, Mom. So the speaker is merely and only reflecting back what this is. It's reflecting back the true reality of what this is. It's reflecting back love. They're reflecting back freedom, the essence of this. You could even say it's reflecting back what you are, but it's not you as the person. What this is. So in saying you are love, you are freedom, that isn't being spoken to you, a person. It's that illusory person. It's pointing back to this, what this is. What this is. What you are is that freedom. What you are is that love. That nothingness is being everything. That nothingness is everything. That's the true experiencer. That's the true listener and speaker and feeler. Can't be found, can't be seen, can't be known. It's not a thing, it's not something. It doesn't exist. Yeah, it's holding everything. It's being everything. It is everything. And when we're human, it plays as a separate someone. It plays as being a position, being in a location, being separate, being something. It plays as someone lost trying to find home. It plays as someone on a journey in time. It plays as seeker. And it plays that there's somebody else who's a teacher, who's come to teach it. But it's not true. It can't be true. There isn't two here. There isn't anything here, or a one or a two. That's the waking up. That's the dissolving and dropping of that person. The position of two or the position of one drops. And there is that which is everything. and nothing. Now these words can't say how that dropping happens. This brain can't say how that dropping happens. Because it's not a reality. I don't know how to say it. It can't speak about that. It can't speak about it as a reality, as a truth. It seems to happen. There seems to be a someone. There seems to be a dropping of that someone. But in that dropping of that someone, then it ends. It ends that dream of there ever being someone. So there can't be a speaking about how it happens. I can just say it seems to happen. There seems to be a collapsing of that illusion that was never real. It's a mystery. The mind will never work it out. It will never understand this. But it doesn't need to understand this. This is a pointing back to that which is beyond understanding this. So you're free to ask questions. Mm. I don't have a question, but I love you. Oh, oh, I love you. I love listening to you. Is asking, hi Martin, is asking questions reinforcing the me feeling? Is asking questions reinforcing the me feeling? I wouldn't say me is a feeling. First of all, I wouldn't say it's a feeling. Is it reinforcing the me? That question's really it's a good question, but it's really bizarre. Yeah. I feel like you may have questions, but you don't want to ask. You don't want it to be the me asking questions. So you're holding back on asking questions because you don't want the me to be, it's the me, so you don't want to ask questions. But to me, it doesn't feel like you can reinforce the me. You can't reinforce that you can't reinforce the me, and you can't unreinforce or not reinforce the me either. Like nothing can nothing has that free will, that ability to independently cause something or not cause something. But it feels here like if there's a question that's there, a sense of confusion or a question that needs to come up, it feels to me it's better that it comes up, because this is about undoing, exposing, and to hold things in through fear of there being a me there isn't what this awakening is. This awakening, what happened here was like an exposing of everything. So it's more naked and open rather than this closed, contracted feeling or behavior. It was in the awakening, it was much more of an exposing everything, getting everything out. So I would urge that if there's a question or something that it needs to come out, speak it, express it, write whatever, write it, whatever. It's about getting everything out. Because there isn't really an independent reality here. It seems that way. And then that sense of me is trying to keep everything, build this wall, build this separate reality and reinforce it and trying to whatever. But this is about that breaking open. Because it's not really true that there's someone living separately here. So this illusory wall or position crumbles or gets questioned and exposed. And in that openness, the end of living this lie of I'm here, the world is there. Because it isn't true. No, you're welcome. Thank you. I think the person's afraid of being slapped. It's afraid of being rejected. Afraid of being hurt. But this is a death of that person. So it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. But the hurt is actually love in disguise. But the one who's afraid isn't true. That's the illusion. That's the people call it ego. The illusory position, the illusory you. And it wants to protect itself from being hurt. From being crucified. But it can't. It's not real. And what isn't real needs to be exposed. What isn't true needs to be exposed and will be exposed to not be true. That's why, in a way, this requires a level of bravery on the human level, because if things are kind of all right in your life, things are kind of, bearable, there wouldn't be that attraction or that, strong determination. There wouldn't be that passion for freedom because things are kind of all right. So there is that. So in a way, that has to be, or they're probably. I think in most humans, there's this serious uncomfortableness. Heavy suffering, or just, yeah, or at least here there was heavy suffering. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Your camera is still buffering.
Yeah, it's working. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, I don't know why, but
yeah, okay.
It takes some time.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. Yes, I can hear you fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't know why. But
Yeah.
I can talk already, maybe.
Yeah, it's okay.
I hear a repeating in the line. I don't know why.
Oh, have you muted the YouTube?
Oh, right. Oh,
yeah, you have to mute it.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I can see you now.
All right. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I just thought I call in again. I heard a question, and now just one came up while you talk.
Yeah,
yeah. Would you say that there's actually it doesn't even matter? I mean, like me is even really like worse or better, worse than no me. Wait, I mean.
Is it worse or better?
It's not real anyway. I mean.
Yeah. Well, from this experience, it was suffering. It was suffering. Yeah. It was painful. So you could say it's no different, but actually, for this body, there's a difference. Yeah, it wasn't pleasant. It wasn't. It was suffering. I can't. Yeah. And I would prefer that to not be that contraction, that me. I'd prefer it that wasn't there. So I can't really agree with that.
Oh. Yeah, sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have called. I just felt like protecting. And this I thought it's almost like I kind of made up a question, because in a way I already. I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, I would glad to meet dropped.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel the same way. Like it's a lot of suffering always.
Yeah.
In my case, to be to have a lot of guilt feelings, for example. That's, for me, it's a big thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't be there if the me is gone. I mean, to wonder if you do it right or wrong. I mean, that's so much of me construct, I guess.
Yeah. So much of the energy going into what have I done? Shouldn't I have done that? Or all that energy and that suffering around choices and around what's happening. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's but it's and it's I just like to call you also because I really now feel like we talked the last time about trust, and there was a kind of distrust. Well, not so much to you actually only, but in general, there is often a feeling of can I trust it or not, or and the more and more there's a feeling now that I trust you, and it's also because of this contact. I mean, because I'm just able to trust you if I contact you in a way, because otherwise there are and to check out the distrust feelings also. Last time I asked, and maybe it's not even a distrust anymore, but it's just I was wondering about you. You went to India, for example, and you were kind of amazed that in the non-duality scene there was so much teaching, and you didn't. You made a comment about that, and you were kind of surprised that it was so much. I don't know the exact words, but there was so much going on Yeah.
I can't remember.
So
yeah.
all right. So I was kind of wondering what brought you to India actually. Why would you even go there? I mean.
India.
Well, it sounded to me like because you were invited to in non-duality and you connected it with India or something, but I don't know if that's
A place that's often spoken about in spirituality, India. And I hadn't been there before. Outside, I've been to mostly Europe, so I hadn't been further than Europe. So I wanted to go and experience India, see what it was like. Yeah. I don't know.
yeah. Because for me, it's what you say and what most teachers say. A lot of them are Indian. It's totally contradictory. I mean, it's like they all give techniques, and you just are open that there's not that it's you just said it before. Like there's it just happens, or it's when the meat drops, it drops. I mean, there's nothing you can do about it, and there's no one there even. So
Oh, I think it gets India for that to happen. I think it's India for the meat to drop. I went there for
Then I was just like I'm surprised that you would even interested, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But that was just
yeah. I don't mind that you're surprised by it. It's good to be surprised by the speaker's actions. But just to go back to this trust thing, you're saying about that you trust me now, and I just felt a bit uncomfortable. Like I don't want you to trust me. Like it's not about trusting me, Rebekah. Like it's not about trusting me. This is what is trustworthy. This.
Actually, what I meant also that when you say something and then now there's not anymore like I can hear more the words what you mean more. Like, before I thought, well, you say it different than
Yeah.
I can hear more that you what's that you that it's I'm less about how it should be said or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's lovely.
You use a different language than, for example, Tony Parsons, who I also love to hear. And so in the beginning, I had to try to hear it that it's about that it resonates the same way. I mean, although the words are different, it's interesting because you have a really your own way of speaking, and I like that also. But I had to just to see what you mean sometimes. You can sometimes even say the opposite, like Tony. It's the same. like for example, you say just before I love you, or you are this or something. Yeah. And I know now what you mean. I mean, you don't mean personal. You mean.
Yeah.
But it's easy to be.
Yeah. I think what happened here was like the heart took over. So I knew the way to say it correctly. I knew the way Tony says it, how you meant to be non-dual. Here was the heart took over. And so that mind part didn't matter so much of how to say it right, and that just wasn't irrelevant anymore. It was a heart thing, a love thing.
That's funny because also that would something Tony would never say.
Heart thing. What heart? There is no heart.
No, I know. Now I hear where you say it, but and it's also because I have a past when there were actually teachings about going to the heart and
Yeah. That's beautiful. Out of the head into the heart. Yeah. It's not personal doing. You can't do that as a person. Go into the heart and not being. You can't do that. It's not a personal prescription or instruction.
No, that's so. But I've done a lot of practicing going into the heart.
Yeah. It's impossible. Yeah. Like, this is the heart. This is it.
And I can also more. Sometimes there are moments that actually the also, for example, what before that was really like this is it. For example, like this is everything, or this is it. The me can also like kind of trying to grab it. I mean, like, well, there is nothing else but this. That's obvious. It's obvious also that I can't help to imagine a world outside of this.
Yeah.
And sometimes there are moments like our moments that sometimes that it's not even questions that this is all there is. It's just obvious in a way sometimes. But it's really very, very, sometimes like very, and it's also obvious that I can't do anything about that. But then there is no. Actually, that's also a little bit about trust, maybe. Like then there is just very short a moment of this is all there is, and it's obvious.
Yeah.
And immediately the distrust comes in. No, this can't be everything. There is a world outside of this.
Yeah.
So it's not, the distrust is actually not only about teachers, but also the whole me is about.
Yeah.
This is, it's not trusting that it's just this.
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's not just this. There is tomorrow and there's yesterday.
Yeah.
Immediately when that moment of relaxation comes, the distrust comes. I can see now that's a constant play of. It's not even trust. I mean, you don't have to trust if you're not there. I mean, why should? But,
yeah. And this is speaking beyond that dynamic of trust, not trust. It's beyond that duality of either of those.
Yeah.
And so it already is. Not trust or not appearing. It's not the reality. It's not an appearance appearing. Trust, distrust. It becomes irrelevant when that which is becomes apparent, not apparent to that not trusting or trusting person, but apparent. It is what is. And this is the waking up. It's that beyond that coming and going. Trust, distrust, isn't. It's that which is beyond.
And now I'm just thinking about a moment when years ago when I was, maybe that's why I'm also like kind of anti-teacher, against teaching in the way. There was a moment when the pain was so strong that life is not a that there I couldn't find any meaning in life. It was such a strong pain that I felt at that time.
Yeah.
And then a teacher came along to say how to the way to find a new meaning or something. And lately I'm getting more and more back to the feeling of there's no meaning, but in a different way. I mean, it's so when you say about pain, that was a really moment of really intense pain, and but in a way it was now I can see it's also kind of a beautiful thing that I felt it like that. It's like it's totally there is no meaning in this life in the sense of seeking for fulfillment in art or music. I mean, it's nice to do, but it's not the fulfillment is not in the yeah. It's not in the extra thing. This is, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I sense also that the pain, when it's really raw, the pain, like that's more close to, I don't know. That's my first frustration a little bit about teaching. That it always wants to cover up the rawness of the me.
Yeah.
Really, the me is totally vulnerable, but I'm totally incapable of finding any fulfillment.
Yeah. I'm not really sure about teaching. What teaching? Teaching. Yeah, I don't think I don't teach. I'm not a teacher.
No, you don't. No. That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why before I was so strong about other teachers, and also that's also part of the distrust that any technique fills up the raw feeling of there is no meaning. I mean, in a way, you would agree, I guess, there is no meaning in the sense of that outside of this. I mean, why would you seek for a meaning if this is all there is? I mean,
because the person is a seeker, and so it seeks.
Yeah. So it's really that's what I mean. It was really the basic pain of the me, like what is the meaning of this life? Like there was such a despair in that, and still is sometimes. What is the meaning for?
Yeah.
But in a way, you give a response to that. Like when I hear you speak, it's like, or what, like I said before, like when it's obvious that this is all there is, then that despair is gone. Then there is just what is. So it's really me thing to seek for meaning, I guess.
Yeah.
All the pain comes from with that, I guess. I mean, with you it was a different pain. Maybe it was more like the life was painful also. For me, it was more the meaning. I couldn't find meaning that was painful. But in a way, pain is pain.
Yeah. Well, maybe the pain was already there, and then you tried to find meaning to help to deal with that pain.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Because maybe could you say that the me itself is the pain actually?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's that becoming something, and you've lost that wholeness. You become something. You exist as someone. There's a loss of that completion, and then begins the seeking to find it, to find meaning, to find my purpose, to find fulfillment again for me. And this isn't something to be given to that person as a. This doesn't satisfy that seeker, the person. It hopes it will find fulfillment in this message, and this isn't for the person to fulfill it, to give it meaning and purpose. That's what it hopes. It's found it in non-duality. It's finally found fulfillment in non-duality, and it isn't. This is not for the person. It's not for that seeker. It's speaking to fulfillment beyond that seeker. It's pointing to the ultimate fulfillment, which isn't in that dream of me looking for something.
yeah. Would you say that the me is the biggest trauma in a way?
The biggest what? Drama?
Trauma, like.
Oh, trauma.
In psycho.
Yeah.
Sense, like.
Yeah.
All the other traumas are are catching on to the first trauma, and that's that you are separate.
Yeah, yeah.
A little bit mental, but
yeah.
But in a way, it's
yeah.
you could say that maybe like it's more. I mean, I can't go back to the moment that I felt separate, like, but it must be like a shock in a way.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Mm.
But I like to pick. Well, I like. Trauma or pain or however you call it, but there's something that also now it's like a kind of, you can feel it kind of, that it's a kind of, yeah, whatever you call it, pain or trauma, or but that there is that it's
I wouldn't call it pain, because pain happens. Like, pain is something that happens. It's just a part of this experience, pleasure and pain. So pain isn't the problem.
no.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but then you mean just physical pain or just normal?
Yeah.
Or emotional pain, of course. Yeah. All right. I'll just. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's maybe last to finish. the maybe the difference that the pain is just pain. I mean, there can be pain, of course, like life. I mean, if you hit your head, you have pain, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have grief, you have grief. I mean, that's just normal life. Only the clinging on to like, that's maybe more a me mechanism, like and that starts with being separate. Like you have to, because you feel the first pain is being separate, and after that comes, so everything that hurts that me is a problem. So that's maybe the difference. Like, there is still pain, but it's not a clinging on pain. It's just a free pain.
Yeah.
Yes, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's also a funny game. Like there are still, sometimes there are moments that I'm not there, and then there is no question about it, or well, and then I come back and try to reassure, and that's also a silly game, because the one who is going to die wants to know.
Yeah.
In a way. I mean,
it's just impossible for the person. It's impossible for the person. It's trapped in that reality of me. It is the trap. It's a, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh. Thank you, Heel, for calling
nice
in.
To talk,
yeah, nice to talk to you. Bye. Bye. Oh, that's so lovely. I can't possibly convey this in language. This love that you are, this love beyond that whole dynamic. It's a waking up. So waking up from that dream to that raw, naked looking, that raw nakedness of being. The human still the human. But it's a waking up beyond that. Okay, so I'm back on Thursday. So you're free to call in on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. That's UK time. So I'll see you then. Bye.